I think it's very irresponsible to talk about legalizing and liberalizing the use of a drug, a combination of chemicals that people smoke, which is very harmful. The Canadian Medical Association has said it's very premature to even use it as a medical drug for those who are ill. So it has tremendous carcinogenic effects. The carcinogens in marijuana are much higher.
I'm just going to jump in.
Much higher than in tobacco.
I'm just going to jump in, but is it proven to be a carcinogen?
It is carcinogenic, and people will give the statistic. They'll compare, one joint to one cigarette.
Right.
The single joint is actually worse. However, people smoke. The smoking patterns are different, so people smoke many more cigarettes than they would smoke joints.
Well, what do you say to that, Diane?
Well, it also reduces testosterone levels. It reduces sperm fertility, which it causes a fertility problem. So this is why your guests don't want us to know all these negative effects. They say that there may be possible benefits to it, but the medical associations and the medical institutes who study the drug know how harmful it is. It causes attention difficulties. It causes mood swings. It causes depression. There are a lot of
I'm just going to give Boris a chance. Boris, we're very seconds away from a break.
A lot of the negative effects of marijuana have been grossly exaggerated, and the research has been done to show negative effects that aren't in fact there. So we need a more honest and open and comprehensive way of studying this, instead of spewing all the false propaganda which dates back to reefer madness and all those other crazy things that we have us believe about pot, which are just patently untrue. And to see people still spewing these kinds of lies today is a little sad, but we have to fight against it.
That's one of the things we heard, of course, in the program. Just before we go to break, I want to jump in, have Gian jump in here, because one of the people that we heard in Play Goes to Pot was, I think it was Sergeant Martinez, or Agent Martinez, who said this is a gateway drug. What did you find in doing the program?
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure, I mean, these are all legitimate views. It's a question of whether you think, even if you think, as Diane Watts has said, that it is really harmful, does that mean that the laws are working? I think that to a certain extent there are separate issues. I just want to say, however, that I think Boris St. Maurice from the Marijuana Party has a hidden agenda to legalize marijuana.
Okay, well, we're going to work on that during the commercial break. We're going to take that break right now. Much more on the debate over dope right after this.
It's nice to be able to smoke a joint. OG Plan on Foreman Hill at 420. It's not too bad. We got a ways to go, but we're going to be doing this in the United States.
My own mother died of cancer, and we gave her hash and pot, and it alleviated her pain, and increased her appetite, and it just seems like cruel and unusual punishment to have laws against that.
Yes, welcome back to the Play Goes to Pot phone-in show. We invite you to answer the question, is it time to legalize marijuana? And you can call us at 1-800-481-NEWS. That's 1-800-481-6397. Or email us at play@cbc.ca. And Suhana, you just heard Carol Pope. You have some medical facts about marijuana?
Yes, and this might be a few points that I think perhaps some of our viewers have already brought out, but here they are. We'll show them to you. And 763 people legally permitted to use medicinal marijuana in Canada. One of the callers, of course, made that point. 563 people can legally cultivate and supply marijuana for medical purposes. Those numbers have almost doubled since the program started in September 2002, although some would say those numbers are certainly not enough, and I'm sure compassion groups across the country would voice that opinion. Joining me now, Patricia Scott Jeffroy. She's with the Injury and Substance Abuse Prevention Team of York Region Health Services Department here in Ontario. Patricia, you've just seen some of those medicinal use facts. Tell me what you see in your center.
Certainly from the public health perspective, we do see quite a prevalence of use. But in terms, I guess one of the things that we're recognizing a lot is people who are seeking treatment for cannabis use, and I think Steve touched on this earlier tonight, just in terms of not overlooking that fact when we're having these discussions around the whole issue of the legal status of it, is that, we know from Ontario profiles that 61% of the kids under the age of 16 who are seeking treatment specifically for marijuana use.
And is that because they're addicted to marijuana? Is that what you'd say?
Well, that terminology is a hot potato in and of itself. So what we are seeing is individuals who are trying to stop their use and are unable to. And sometimes addicting, again, it's one of those words that means a lot of things to a lot of people. Some people talk about it being physically addictive, something like cocaine, for example, highly physically addictive, versus the psychosocial dependency issues.
So I guess it's kind of like splitting hairs, is it?
It really is. I think it's defining what it is what really is important is that there's a very strong percentage of people who are trying to change their behavior around it and unable to. Very similar to other substances.
I thank you for weighing in on this, Patricia. We're going to go to a caller, Anne from Kincardine, Ontario. Welcome to the program. Is it time, Anne, to legalize marijuana? Anne, it's Hannah in Toronto. Welcome to Play Goes to Pot. If you can hear me, let me know what you think. Is it time to legalize marijuana? Just got the call. We're not there, so we're going to go to Burnaby, BC now, across the country to the west. Raul joins us. Raul, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Is it time to legalize marijuana?
I'm trying to figure out what the reason is not to legalize it. I smoke pot myself, and part of my frustration is that when I go somewhere to a party or something and I light a joint, I'm looked at like a drug addict, or someone of a lesser kind. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, let me just ask you, one of the things that our invited caller, Patricia, just said is that a lot of young people who are in her treatment center are there because they have certain addictive behavior to pot. Would you say that is your behavior?
I have chronic pain. I've been suffering with pain for about 2.5 years, and I've been highly depressed because of the pain, and it's helping to the point where it makes it easy to live. It's very hard to live with pain all the time, and so I'm a unique situation because I'm in pain, but with other people, with youth specifically, there's a lot of depression right now in the world. It's a really, it's a hard place to live, especially for youth. And, self-medication.
So do you have to smoke pot then?
Well, you don't, but, it's hard to, depression is a really hard thing to understand. And, a lot of people out there are self-treating. It's not the right way to do it, but they don't really know that. And so they just know that, when they smoke it, it makes it easier to do things.
Well, I hope that your pain is lessened in the way that you choose.
Can I just, I didn't really want to talk about that. I just wanted to say a lot of useful things besides smoking it. Like, if it was legalized, you wouldn't have to smoke it because it'd be cheaper, so you could eat it. It'd also save on, it would save on healthcare bills. The hemp itself is great for many products. It's a really healthy seed.
I'm going to ask you to leave it there, Raul,
Okay.
because our phone lines are jammed,
right.
and I thank you so much for joining us
But
this
it's time that we
evening.
legalize it.
Okay. I'm going to go, I suppose Raul, goes to stores where he can buy paraphernalia for smoking pot, and that's where you are, Gian. So what have you got for us?
That's right, Sir Hannah. It feels like a telethon all of a sudden. Keep those numbers going up.
Okay, we're live, we're human, let's face it.
I'm at the Custom Culture Superstore Emporium here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in Osborne Village, and I'm with the creator, owner, and capitalist, Gary Gaddy here. And I guess my question to you is, we're standing amongst, well, you're welcome. We're standing amongst all your paraphernalia, your bongs, and some political books, etc. Why did you get into this business? Is it purely business, or do you have some sort of political agenda?
Well, there's a number of factors, of course. I started this business in '95. I was inspired by Mark Emery's store, Hemp BC, when I walked in there in 1994. And I just thought it'd be a fun, viable business, and really, at the bottom line. And also, now it's become a lot more political. political, and it has been political, I guess, since the 10 years we've been around. But it is an interesting business, and I really enjoy being a part of it.